Flights of Fancy. Hello, loves. So today's Sunday post is going to be short and sweet and include a couple of announcements about things that I have coming up. This powerful full moon this past week took me for quite a ride, and many new gifts and awarenesses were revealed to me that I am still unpacking. So I hope you found some gems in that as well. But regarding Flights of Fancy, yesterday we saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And no spoilers, but there's a line from the movie that Mantis says. Mantis is the one who has intuitive powers. There's a line in there about how basically this isn't verbatim because I can't remember the actual line, but it was something like how she'd spent her entire life doing what Ego wanted, and Ego is the name of a character in the movie, in one of the previous movies, but obviously that's a massive metaphor. How she'd spent her entire life doing what Ego wanted, and the other part of her entire life doing what she thought essentially what God wanted. And that was not her words, but essentially that was the metaphor. That she had spent her entire life either doing what the conditioned self wanted to do, which is ego, quote unquote ego, or what she thought some higher being wanted her to do or others wanted her to do in order to be good and to be right and to do life right or whatever, which is also a result of conditioned ideas about God as some separate, judgmental, and punishing being. But now she wanted to find out what she wanted, her real and true, authentic self. She wanted to find out what she wanted instead of doing what others wanted or what she thought others wanted. So I nodded at this and I smiled so big at that when I heard that, because this is what is happening for so many of us the world over right now at this time in history. Having spent most of our lives doing what we thought other people wanted us to do, or what we should do, or what the right thing to do is, or what the safe thing to do is, instead of exploring what we actually, truly, and honestly want for ourselves and our one precious life as this form and this human. And that's a process, because there is so much conditioning that keeps you from even being able to know and experience what you really like. Because there's all of these self-judgments about what you want and what you like that keeps you from even knowing yourself and your deepest fulfillments at all. But I'm here to remind us that that exploration gets to be safe too, and that exploration gets to be secure too. That exploration of what does light you up and what does fulfill you gets to be safe and secure and easier and comfortable too. And we are just going to source that safety and security and comfort from a new place within ourselves instead of sourcing it from outside of ourselves. And that is a flight of fancy indeed, in case you were wondering why this article was titled Flight of Fancy. Because it requires finding out what you fancy. What do you like? What do you want? What fills you up? Without judgment, without having to explain yourself or defend yourself or make it about some others or make it into some huge mission or something, instead of just letting it be honest for you and true to you. And so it is with that in mind that I invite you to join me in my newest adventure and exploration, Fulfillment First, the Uncourse, a reality creation immersion. And what this is basically what happens when you radically prioritize your own deep fulfillment. That's what we're going to find out. For the next 30 days, I'm going to be running an experiment and challenge, or whatever you want to call it, in my new private podcast, Fulfillment First, where I'll be dropping short and sweet prompts, questions, practices, affirmations, thoughts, and mindset shifts to begin to explore your own deep fulfillment and find out what that looks and feels like for you, and begin to embody that more and find out what becomes possible for you and your life or your business or your relationships or anything else that you want to transform when you lean into that energy in a much bigger way. So I will be dropping these really short and sweet episodes and prompts to explore as they appear to me, informally. And it's $33 a month to join the private podcast. You can cancel at any time. I'll be running this particular experiment this month, but this space and this new podcast is my new dedicated space for this exploration throughout the years ahead. It's buffet style learning, so you can take what you want and leave what you don't want. There's no order to listen. There's no call times to attend. There's no playing catch up. It doesn't matter if you miss episodes. Just pick up the ones that feel meant for you. You're welcome. Doing it this way is part of my deep fulfillment first, and I hope that it complements yours as well. You can read more about that and join and subscribe on my website at sunnychapman.com/private pod. Private pod is one word. If you just go to my website and go to the podcast tab, you'll see it under there. Or if you go to my website and you go under the Work With Me tab, you'll see it there as well. And in other news, my new Moth and Moon Oracle development is well underway and still set to begin June 1st. If you have not checked that out or joined that, be sure to have a look. The early registration price is still available up until we begin. We'll be experiencing the power of Oracle cards in a brand new, totally new way. And I'm super excited about it. We're going to take a deep dive into self-trust, self-expression, and self-creation in a fun, light, and easy, built into your life kind of way. And you can read more about that, view some sample cards, etc. on my website also under sunnychapman.com. Click the Work With Me tab and you will see the Moth and Moon tab there. You'll see the Moth and Moon option there. So that's all for this Sunday, my loves, and I will see you next week. Bye.